It has been requested that I do a video on painting eyes, and I haven't done one in the past because it's really difficult to do on camera because, well, just the size and macroing, zooming all the way in, and trying to keep the miniature steady on such a small surface is very difficult. But we're going to give it a shot, and I'm going to start on paper here so I can do it larger and hopefully everyone understands before going on to a tiny little figure. So we have some eyeballs that shouldn't be touching, but my drawing sucks. And nice little nose there. So the first thing you want to do is paint the whole socket in whatever your dark flesh tone color is, dark shade color is. I actually use model color SS Camo Black Brown. And just fill in the whole area. Go over, you know, the whole eye socket. Don't worry about trying to paint just in the eye or anything at this point. Fill it all in. And I forgot to mention, we want to do this before painting the rest of the flesh or the face of the figure. I used to paint eyes at the last thing on a miniature. However, over the years, I'm getting older and I find that a bit harder to do, and I think this is a lot easier if you paint them first. So start with filling in that area with a dark fleshy flesh tone color, whatever your darkest shade is. SS Camo Black Brown for me. Then next thing you want to do is paint in the whites. Now in the past I would say use a beige or an off-white color because it looks more realistic in scale, but in painting lots of times, you know, contrast trumps realism. So go ahead and just use pure white and fill in the whole eyeball section. If you go over the edge, fine, don't worry about it because we can clean that up at the last stage. So fill in the whole area with white. It's better to go over than to leave some areas unpainted or not covered with white. Next stage is to paint the actual iris eyeball of itself, and we use just black for that. And this is the part where people always find a problem. There's two ways you can do it. You can do, you know, a drop of paint, use the tip of your brush, or you can also paint a line going up and down if you find that easier. The placement of either method, you want the eyes a little bit closer to the inside than the outside. If you put the eyes in the center, the iris in the center of the eyeball, it's going to look cross-eyed. So there should be more white showing on this side than there is on this side. More white on this side than there is on this side. And if you're going with the line method, like this, so once you get your line in, then you just start flushing the line out in whatever direction you need to go until you get a decent looking iris. Now once that's done, now you can go back with your dark shade color, SS Camo Black Brown in this case, and then slowly use this to slowly start cleaning up the eye, covering up all that leftover white, that leftover black that's splashed on the areas that you where you don't want it. And basically you just use this color to slowly close in and shape the eye to your desired shape. And that's it. So we got our wrinkly, bizarre eye guy here. Let's see if we can translate this onto an actual miniature. So here we go, extreme close-up. Now I've undercoated the face with just a flesh color just so this stands out better, because putting these colors over black is going to be a little hard to see. So hopefully I can do this and keep everything on camera. So first we're starting with our dark brown, our camo SS Camo Black Brown. And again, this is not a clean step. We're just filling in the whole socket area, and this would be your whatever color you normally have. Sorry, trying to center the focus there. Whatever color your dark flesh tone is. So that is very easy, step one. Alright, that just took a minute to dry. And now using white and getting my eyeball brush. This is a number 0 brush. And this is the only thing that I use this brush for. Everything else I paint is with a number 2, unless it's dry brushing or something like that. But this brush is reserved just for eyeballs, and so we're going to paint in the eyeball. Paint slightly thin, So trying to get the eyeball, but if we bleed over, no big deal. The paint was a little too thin there. Should have dabbed it on a cloth first. But there we go, got the whole eyeball. And so now we let that dry. So now for the pupil. Again, using the number 0 brush. And got some black. And you can just draw a line straight down. Make it very thin, and then just flush it out as need be. Very slowly. And if you need to, you can flip the figure over to get at the other eye. If you need to go over, fine. Again, we'll clean it up later. Oops, hope I didn't go off camera there. And the reason why I don't use super small brushes for painting is because they dry, the paint dries on the tip very fast. So get more paint if you need to. And so there we have it. A little bit more white on this side than on the inner side, so it doesn't end up looking cross-eyed. And now back to the camel black brown. I'm sorry, can't talk while I'm doing this. And basically we're shrinking the eye, cleaning it up. Okay, there we go. So now she's got a nice little, nice little raccoon look going on. And there we have it. Our eyeballs are done. You just paint the flesh, and normally I'd be using my dark flesh tone and working my way up, but just for the sake of speediness here, whatever you use for your whatever method you use for painting flesh, just go ahead and paint the rest of the face. Obviously making sure not to paint the actual eyeball itself. And again, just slowly work your way around. And try to leave that little ring of black-brown around the eyeball, because that really helps to make them pop. And there you have it. Whoops, there we have it. Our eyeballs are done. Okay, so I just threw some quick highlights on the face just so you can see roughly what the final results will look like. They're really rough highlights. So, but yeah, that's it. That's it for painting eyeballs. Just that last step or two, you have to be clean. The other ones is no big deal. And it's pretty simple. It does take a steady hand. Though, for the pupils, the black, some people prefer to use pens. If it's easier for you, you know, great. These Pigma, if I can get it in camera, there we go. These Pigma Micron pens, some people like to use. They're okay. I just don't find them necessary. But use them if it helps. And if you're doing eyeshadow for women, just FYI, if you're going to do that, whatever color you use, mix your base flesh tone in with it. So if you're going to do blue, mix in a little of the flesh tone in, and it looks a lot better. If you just put just like blue eyeshadow, I think it looks bad. But yeah, there you go. So painting eyes as requested. Hope this helps. Thank you. Goodbye.